Woo! Get your vision boards, y'all. Get your vision boards. Celebrate good times. Come on. Woo! We've been together for 1 year.
1 year.
Woo!
1 year. Can y'all believe it?
I cannot. Like, no, it's like surreal.
I can't believe it, y'all.
1 year. This is amazing.
This is awesome. Woo! Hey, y'all.
Happy anniversary, Totally Naked.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, everybody.
Oh, look.
Listen.
Only fitting. It all started with these mugs.
It did. And I'm the only one without a cup
With
over
those
here.
mugs, I know, right?
I'm the only one. Because I don't drink that coffee. And I don't drink the juice. And I don't drink the champagne. I don't drink everything. So right now, I got all the energy right now.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yes.
I love you guys. I need you guys to know that. I love you guys. And I mean, it has not been without its challenges. It has not. But when we look at everything that we have been able to do over this past year, I'm just like so in awe of what God is doing in each and every single one of y'all lives, my life as well. And I'm just so glad that we got to do it together because you guys are crazy. This life is crazy. It's just
I know.
all for God and all for his glory and his people. And so I'm grateful for this. Yes.
Me too. I'm excited. I share your sentiments, April. It has been a year. I can't believe that it's been a year. And honestly, last year, I kind of forgot we started last year because Corona made it feel like a whole separate year. Okay. Right. Both months of Corona felt like a whole different year itself. But yes, it is a whole year as of the 8th. So January the 8th, 2021 marked our official 1 year anniversary. And we could not have gotten here without each and every one of our listeners, our followers, our subscribers. We bow down to you. We love you all. Absolutely. We pray for you.
Thank you.
And that God will continue to bless you, change your life, and to continue to get his glory through everything that all of you do each and every day. So, with that being said, let's talk about because listen, y'all. This is the only way I can get my energy out.
All right. Well, help yourself.
Yeah, so we're talking about vision boards today. Boop, 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 boop. Now, listen, I understand that this is supposed to be the party where we build it. But the reason why we're calling it a party is because we celebrating our 1 year anniversary with y'all. But having vision is what we want to talk to you guys about today. Instead of us doing our vision boards by ourselves as a team, we said, nah, our people been rocking with us for a whole 365. We inviting them to the vision party as well. Woo!
So welcome.
All right. So this episode, y'all, yeah, you thought it was going to be just a party. Oh, no, we're going to hit y'all with some totally naked, typical things, and we're going to help change your mind about a few things. So let's kick off this conversation with, have you ever done a vision board before? Now, I know that my girl April, because she is the one that will ensure she got the facts for us, okay? Now, April, yes, I know that you're going to answer this question, but do me a favor, okay? And tell the people what you found out about why it is so significant to do what? Get a vision board started and get it writing and mentioning what you want to see happen in your life.
Okay, well, a couple of things. So we put a poll out maybe a week ago on our Facebook page, and we had response from some of you. And so we're so grateful for you guys who did participate in that poll. And so the question was, have you done a vision board before, and did you find it helpful or beneficial? And 50% of the respondents did say that it was beneficial for them. But then there was another 50% that said, not so much. And so one of the things that, you know, when we were looking up the topic, there are successful people in this world. We all know that we can all say that, you know, success is varied, but some of the most successful people in the world have used visualization and vision boards for their success. So when you talk about your Warren Buffetts, or you're talking about your Will Smiths or your Oprah Winfrey's, these are some of the successful people in creating a vision board or having visualizations of some of the things that they want to do. They are using vision boards. And so, you know, we definitely wanted to talk about it because, like, some of us may or may not use a vision board. So, but we, you know, we wanted to kind of chat. And so I don't know, Dominique had asked the question. So it's a yes or no. I have used a vision board in the past and it did not work. And then I have used a vision board more recently that has worked. And let me explain. And so, you know, I went to a vision board party a friend invited me to maybe 3 years ago. And that vision board, you know, was like a poster board, and you cut out pictures and you cut out, you know, different sayings and words of things that you want to do in that year. And it looked pretty. It looked nice. I had glitter and I had all these shining things on there. I had all these different categories of things that I, you know, wanted to hit on, like when it came to work or career, finances, love. And so I took that experience and I took that vision board and I took it home with me and I put it in the garage. And I know I go in the garage to get in my car, but then like somehow ended up under like bags of clothes. And I never looked at the vision board past that day of when we did the vision board party. So it kind of was like, you know, like that didn't work. But like more recently, I have a vision board, but my vision board looks a lot different than the vision board that, you know, that I thought that I should be creating. And so I know that Dominique, we all showed our vision boards, but I have a combination of dry erase and cork. So I can do stickies. Look, let me see if you guys can see that. And so I can do stickies. One of the things I wanted to point out on this vision board, and I'm gonna let the other guys talk, is that I have 2 business cards at the bottom of my vision board. Okay, if you can see it. Yeah. All right. So that purple one is my first business card, a personal business card that I created about 5 years ago. And that particular business card, I made that business card and it had on there author, it had on there philanthropist, and it had on there some, you know, as far as me being an occupational therapist and a writer. And I had not done one of those things yet. I was in the process of maybe writing, but I had not authored a book. I had not done any missions trips yet. So it was like 5 years ago or something like that. And so then the second card that you saw was a card that I have now, which is actual, like, because it was something that I visualized. And by having that business card, and it was something that I, you know, looked at and I was saying, okay, this is who I plan to be. This is something that God has placed and birthed inside of me. And so it did not come to fruition until later, which was in 2020. And so I'm so grateful to God. But that is a way that you can use a vision board. Like it's something that you see and it motivates you.
I think that's dope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that is awesome. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have not ever done a vision board before. So I've never actually done what I just showed you guys here, which is this one.
And I ain't gonna lie, that thing looks good. I love
It does.
vision.
It looks
What's
excellent.
that vision board? Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
glittery.
That's just how my brain works, because this will make me want. So the way it's okay. So let's start off with answering the question, right? So the question is, no, I've never ever done a vision board before. However, I am a journaler. I like to journal. And in my journaling process, I would write down so many amazing things that I want. Like, I get detailed in that thing. I start writing down, like, God, I want to, for my house starting, I want 1,800 square foot with I get specific, right? So I just start, journaling that way, and I would read it. But what I've noticed is that when that book started getting full with other things like other journaling entries, my personal Bible study, notes that I feel maybe Holy Spirit dropping something in my spirit, I get to journaling that down. And before you know it, I got a whole book, and my vision is somewhere either at the very beginning, somewhere in the middle, but it is in between pages of other things, and it gets lost. So that method was working for me as long as I remembered to actually go back and reread the things that I was writing down. So I follow, now don't judge me when I say this. I follow this show called Big on Lifetime. And the main dance troupe in this show is called the Dancing Dolls, right? And I fell in love with the show, but more of what I fell in love with is that this lady, her name is Diana Williams. Diana Williams is an African American young lady. She is in our age group, and she is like killing it. And she had a lot of people one day, and she had a cork vision board. And that was the first time I've ever seen a cork vision board. So I started doing a little bit of looking into it, and I found that people do use cork. And then I found not only do they use corks, but they use whiteboards. They use, so many different methods. And I said, I didn't know it was like that. Okay. So I went out and I purchased a cork board, and my intention is that I will put this by my nightstand, which I have done. And that way, when I wake up in the morning, it's literally right there. And when I go to sleep at night, it will be right there. I do plan on continuing to journal as one method of doing vision, or writing the vision, making it plain for my life. And I'm going to just use this vision board to be more of a high level overview, and continue to use my journaling skills for the the intricate details of some of the things that I do see forth in my life. So to answer the question, no, but I hope that it will work this time. Okay.
So for me, first of all, let me just say that both of y'all's vision boards are really dope. But for me, I take a little bit of a different approach. So to answer the question, absolutely, yes, I've done a vision board in the past. However, I'll just show you this vision board. So my actual physical vision board is one that is just generally vague. So it has different things. Of course, you all know I'm a business owner, but I don't know if you guys can see it.
We can see.
But it's just, it basically provides a more vague approach just to help me kind of understand the major areas that I want to hit within the year. Now, let's get to specifics. So for me, I know that I lead a very busy life, whether it be work, my own business, totally naked, church, family, whatever. Life happens, and I just have a lot going on. So my phone is my life, as I'm sure it is for many of you. And so I found this app that specifically caters to vision boards, and it has proven to be so helpful to me. So I'll just go through it really, really quick.
Okay.
It allows you to really set strategic, smart goals for yourself. I know a lot of us in corporate America have heard about SMART goals. It helps you to identify SMART goals for yourself and maintain a clear account of them. So it provides a level of accountability. So it reminds you, helps you to keep track. It also, what I really love about it is it provides affirmations every day. And you can even write your own affirmations. So as an example, the daily affirmation that they provided today was, I am an unlimited being, which highlights potential, your potential in the earth as you navigate through life. And so I chose this method, one, because I'm a realist, as we've talked about in previous episodes. And so I just want to make sure that, 365, I'm still keeping track of my goals. 365, I'm still staying motivated, while navigating through this pandemic, while dealing with life, and this app really, really does help me. So whether it is physical vision board, or even if it's a mobile vision board, it's definitely an asset to your life. What I will say though, before I end, is it takes intention, and so I chose to. Knowing myself, I thought that it would be intentional for me to utilize the app version, but it's still, extremely helpful. So choose wisely.
Yes.
Choose wisely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that, my brother. I love that. Let me tell you. So I've done vision boards for the better part of about 10 years. And it's been on
Wow.
a yearly basis. Number one, Dante, the way that you vision board is you're mobile, you're current, so on and so forth. April, I love the fact that you had the reminder of your accomplishments on your board, which I think is awesome because I think a lot of us get so in the humdrum of doing things that we forget that, hey, I've been doing some great stuff. Let me pat myself on the back, because a lot of us
That's
just
good.
don't check because we're always pushing. So I think that's awesome. And Miss Dom, your board actually looks like you. Like even the chain that goes across the top, is like the necklace you got on right now. Like it looks like you right now. And I love that. But let me tell you, so I am very, very old school with my vision board. Actually, one of the vision boards that I do is definitely on poster board. And I split it up into quadrants every single year. What I mean by that is because my brain isn't all over the place, it's very singly pointed, which is why I'm not good at multitasking. But I'll have it where one quadrant would be about spirituality, another quadrant would be about business, another quadrant would be about finances, another one will be about relationships, another one will be about health, and then the other one will be about family and fatherhood. And they will all be things that I'm striving to do within that year. Typically, I'll start it in the middle of December, but I won't finish it until the middle of January. So it takes about a month for me to actually put everything in order. And I also use a passion planner. I don't know if you guys have it, and I wish I had one that I could show you right now. But it's a calendar that you have, and at the end of every month, you get to recap what you've done during that month, as well as plan for what you're going to do in the future. So if you don't have one, I suggest you get one. And then also, just like Dom does, I journal a lot. So there's a lot of writing and thinking about what is going to happen in the future, or how I want things to look, of course, after consulting with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, consulting with Jesus.
That's important. That's
yes,
important.
we should. Yes, we should.
And it definitely is important. Honestly, I have some things that are on here from the past on my vision board, but I am planning a cabin trip this upcoming weekend. And in that upcoming weekend, a lot of the focus will be on listening and hearing from God, so that God can, whatever the next things are. There's some things on here that I have, God, love, fitness, Lord Jesus in love. All right. And fitness and all those things.
I thought that was a question mark. I was about to say, did you put a question mark? That's a heart.
No, that's a heart. Well, anyway, but the point of it is that, God gives us these instructions. And so, and one, I know that I mentioned about the most successful people, but it's in God's word. Habakkuk 2:2 tells us to write the vision and make it plain, put it on tablets. And so if God is saying this is something that's important for us to do, I believe. I definitely do. Now, I think it's the execution, which, all of us have come up with some different ways of being able to execute it. You have to fine tune it to see how it works for you, I think.
I agree. And I think some of the things that, since this is a vision board party, that we should talk about is, because I know for me, where to start was always the hardest. Because when you're in the thick of something, you don't really see sometimes all that you probably need to step back and say, you know what, maybe I need to adjust this. Maybe I need to adjust that. Jax did a great job, started kind of telling us a little bit of, through the years, some of the categories that he
Those
focuses on.
categories, yeah, that was
Yeah, because I started writing it down because I'm looking at my board like I ain't mentioned Deshaun on this board at all.
At all.
Okay.
Right. But that's why it takes me a while to do it, because I got to get things formulated and I got to make sure that my whole life for that particular season is what it is. And then not only that, but I like to put Bible verses pertaining to each one of those things around the vision board. So I actually cut those out and print them and cut them out to put them around the board so I have something to actually focus on other than pictures.
That's dope. That's another idea.
Mhm.
Okay, so you said
like
family.
So you have a regular vision board. You have a regular vision board, the poster board. Where do you put yours?
Oh, that's a great question. I actually have a home office at home, and it's right in front of, like, it has my computer screen, then my board is right there. So I'm basically looking at it all the time.
Okay.
All the time.
Yeah, mine is in the laundry room, so that like I'm always going in there. For one, the trash is in there, the laundry's in there, my shoes are in there when I'm getting ready to go to work. So, or when I'm getting back home. So it's always in my visual field.
Yeah. The thing is to take the time to actually focus on it. Like it shouldn't be like in the run all the time. Sometimes you really got to focus on it, make sure that's what you're doing that day. And that's why I have it in my office, because I need to know what I'm doing that day is actually pushing me toward those goals. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, right. So, okay, because really, when people are doing their vision boards, our audience, when they're looking at us, what we're trying to convey to you is this: don't get caught up on whether it's going to be in your phone, on a poster board, on a cork board, on your refrigerator, in your laundry room, by your bed like me, whether it's going to be in your office like Jax, right? But what we do want you to think about is what we're going to put on there, right? Because we want to make sure that you're tackling things that you need to see come to fruition in your life. So if you are talking career, even if you don't know what you want to do, you need to put career, making money. like let's start off with the basics. You desire to be married, just like I did. April said love on hers. I just put a picture of some random married people on mine because I desire for marriage, right? So that's one thing, that I put on there. I put I didn't put my son on there, so I took a page out of Jack's book when he talked about fatherhood and family. I didn't put nothing about my mom, my grandma. Nobody is on this board but me. Okay, so
I did see on your board where you have beauty. But
that's yes.
No, it says life is beautiful.
Oh,
life
okay.
Is beautiful.
I was gonna say, why is that on your vision board when it's already there?
Ooh. Well, you know what? Okay, so I'm gonna say this: values are important. Like, so everybody's values are different,
Right.
And not that Dominique don't value her, or not her husband, her son. She values her son. But I think that as you're working through your vision boards, that you first look at some of the things that are priority to you, priority to your roles and your values. Like those values help you build out a vision board. Like in Jack's, he talked about the spirituality, he talked about family, he talked about finances. So those are some of his values. And we value some similar things, I believe, but really internalize and think through, what is it that I value? What's important to me? And so those things help you to start building out, a vision board as well. But it's funny that you said beauty, because I almost put a picture of that, but I was like, that's kind of, I don't know how I feel about putting beauty on there, because I was gonna put some wigs, but it's not about the wigs. Let me tell you. So self-care is important. And about two years ago, I made a point of, really building in some time for self-care, whether that's me getting pedicures or if that's me saying, you know what, I'm gonna really pay a lot of attention to, what I'm doing with, how I present myself. And even last year, I really have made a better effort of that. Not that I like to go around looking like anything, but my personality is a little bit more laid back, and I'm not into a lot of flash per se. But I really did have to make a little bit more of an effort to say, you know what, April, you want to present yourself a little bit better, not for other people per se, but just you want the presentation to look like
Yes, ma'am.
you're taking yourself serious. So
Because look at this. I wrote fashion. I got Michael Kors on there because let me tell you, I want a real Michael Kors purse, a perfume, and some shoes. So I done put Michael Kors on there. Heck yeah, it's important for me.
So fleshy, so flesh.
It's a couple of things that you guys said that really resonated with me. Number one, yeah, if you want business, you got to look like business. So I think that the whole presentation and the way that you feel is awesome. The second thing, it was you, April, that said, oh, the vision has to be your vision. So please, for you guys that are doing it for the first time or whatever, don't use like somebody else's vision. Don't say, oh, I want to do all this traveling when you really don't want to travel. Like,
yeah,
just because you like traveling, that's your vision for this year. Does that make sense? Like, make sure something that you want out of life, not something that society tells you should have out of life. You know what I mean?
Right. That was good
and
stuff.
I agree with that. And that kind of takes us into this thing of, you know, hindsight 2020, looking back, right? So what are some things that we've gone through in 2020 that we can say either we're leaving it behind, or we can put this on our vision board because we want to see more things manifest in that area continuing from 2020 into 2021? Because I know for me that some of those things were non-tangible things, right? A lot of non-tangible things happened for me in 2020. So, for example, the first thing is understanding forgiveness, understanding that truly when you do forgive and you make the decision to let it go, it is so freeing. And God does come in and he starts changing things around because your perception has changed. People don't realize that forgiveness is tied to your perception. If you are unwilling to forgive, you are unwilling to see the circumstance in the situation differently. So those were the two non-tangible things that I can say that that's not true. Another thing was learning what it really means to trust God. I think a lot of times as a Christian and a young Christian, I get so caught up on like some type of mysterious, magical thing that makes you a Christian or makes you a believer of God. And this year in 2020, us not being able to go into church, us not being able to gather together to do things that we would traditionally do or ritually do together, God debunked all that for me this year in 2020. Okay, so, and he taught me that trusting me, having a relationship with me, and really being down for me doesn't take a whole bunch of spooky goofy. It takes just live your life every day and run it past me. Okay, so that I learned that in 2020, and then also doing it afraid. And I think that my vision board is based on that last point of doing it afraid. Everything that I have on this board, from, I wrote, I want to be a leading lady. Okay. I wrote, I'm a progress making machine. When you write things like that down on your vision board, you got to do it afraid, because when people were, making statements, changing lives, leaving legacy, they had to come up against some things. So, I wrote on here giant steps. I want to take giant steps this year. You can't do taking no giant steps here. Right. So for me, that is kind of how I base my vision board this year. Just some things that I want to see continue through from 2020, because God really was changing, shifting my perception. And I'm looking forward to 2021. So, but what about you?
I agree. I definitely, 2020 was definitely, I believe, a defining year for us all, but more specifically, I think that it really helped me to do a few things. It helped me to strengthen my relationship with God. My relationship with God was already dope, but it helped me to really increase my capacity to really hear from him and receive what it is that he would have me to do, in this season or just in the earth period. And through that, being obedient to his voice, understanding his will for my life, or understanding the assignment that he's graced me with, there comes a level of stewardship, and there certainly comes a level of accountability. And so 2020 was that year for me, that really my relationship took a turn. And then also, by my obedience, God began to quickly like show me who certain people are in this life, that really aren't meant for this season. And I know that some of you who are watching really kind of have dealt with the same things. People, God really revealing, or shifting your perspective, in terms of how you see friendships, how you see even your relationship with your husband, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, how you see things from, just general perspective. And so that was one of the things that really turned to me. And then again, I can't say it enough, faith. I remember Dominique will attest. Dominique and I are cousins, if y'all haven't figured it out. And going into 2020, my aunt, her cousin, had been admitted into the hospital, and for months, from January until maybe about March, had to recover, going to rehab after battling an illness. Then now we're in a pandemic, so we go from family member ill to pandemic, then from pandemic to my mother being admitted into the hospital and being very ill, and so, my immediate family having to rally around her. But on the flip side, you know, God allowed me to launch a business. God allowed me to see my brother get engaged and pledge a fraternity of his choice, different milestones that he allotted. But I do believe that by my willingness to be obedient to him, or focusing on my relationship or my faith walk in 2020, allowing that to really be my main focus, God began to speak to my heart concerning every situation and really shift me into the place that he would have me to be. So now I'm in 2020, and with an understanding, a clear understanding of both the work and the road ahead. And it's allowed me to just even be motivated, be even the more prayerful, and just to complete the work. So that's kind of my 2020, what I was focused on in 2020, and then even moving into 2021, what the perception is.
Right, right.
Now that 2020 is in the rear view, bars, we have to certain things that I'm certain
Come on,
things that
bars.
I'm leaving. The number one thing I'm leaving, in 2020 is toxic relationships. I think that
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You gotta kind of just get over that. It's certain things that just aren't for you, and certain things you just have to have the strength to walk away from, and it's cool. It's okay to just go ahead and move forward. Some things I'm bringing over into 2021 is trust in God, because He definitely showed His behind last year for me.
Whoop, whoop.
I speak for everybody else, but it was and then just growth all around in life, just to keep pushing forward. Just what I'm bringing into 2021. He man, God, man, He is. it's phenomenal. 2021 was just great. I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's awesome. First and foremost, I want to just piggyback off of Jackson when he said that God has did some really great things in 2020.
Absolutely.
I mean, 2020 was crazy, undoubtedly, it was a crazy year, but God was still busy doing some stretching and some development in each of one of our lives. I remember, so if you guys don't know, that this particular podcast or this show was birthed out of a small group. Small groups we would do that. We would meet weekly, talk about biblical principles, but collectively our chemistry was so crazy in our small groups. We were so transparent and we were so honest with each other about some of the things that we struggle with every day in life, that we were I think that we definitely should make this something that we could share with other people, because I think there's a lot of Christians who don't always know that they're dealing with things we deal with life, but there's a way that God wants us to handle it. And sometimes we just need to come together and be on one accord so that we can help each other navigate. But one of the things that happened in that small group, I remember God just like depositing on me. And he was like, the people that are in this group, they are going to be business owners. They're going to be, and this is well before I seen any of the stuff, but God was showing me who these people were. And, I remember prophetically speaking over and seeing Jackson, Dante kind of came in on the tail end, and Dominique, like, there's so much that God has in store for each and every single one of us and you who are listening. And it's just a matter of, to be able to see some of those things come to fruition in 2020. And it's not the end. One of the things that was the most that I want to leave in 2020 is fear. I mean, Dominique spoke to that. I was afraid of the vision and the things that God had placed in me, so much so that it took me a while to even let people know, okay, that I had the book done. And still there, and God I wrestled with God a lot in being able to be comfortable in that skin and in that role. But he is definitely helping. It was so interesting this morning. I felt this, not just a peace, but a strength that I did not have in 2020 when it came to this is God's work. We're going to be on here. We're going to talk, to even be on this, being on video, that is not something I don't want to do. It's I don't want to say I'm an introvert, but I'm really not a person that's wanting people to be in my business. Man, I had to it's cool to do it when you with 3 or 4 other people, but it's another thing to do it when you letting everybody else know who it is, your things that you struggle with, the things that you have fears about, the things that did not work out for you and that you God is working with you on. And so, but there is a strength that I am bringing into 2021, but the strength isn't on my own. It has been because the things that God has are so big that I have no choice but to rely on him. And I think that is what I'm going to continue to lean into in 2021, is that when God is giving you something like a big dream or a big vision, don't run from it, lean into him, because God will give you the strength. He will give you the courage. And even though you may have some fears, like Dominique said, do it in afraid, trust, walk the walk. God will give you all the provision. He'll give you all the tools. He'll give you all the resources. God sends people. He sends mentors. Oh my gosh. He has been tremendous in some of the things that he's done over this past year. And I just look forward to everything he's going to do in 2021 and beyond. For all of y'all,
absolutely,
and for y'all listening.
Yes. So this is a vision board party. So I hope that all the people that are joining us today have had their vision boards out, that they have been putting something on these vision boards. Sorry about the technical difficulty earlier. I was trying to do a little extra and stuff started falling off. Okay. But, I hope that you did, start. Jax, unfortunately, started working on his with y'all just now on the thing. So, Jack, how far did you get in your vision board process? Did you get far at all?
Man, I've been so in tune to this conversation. I want y'all to know that all of my materials and everything are here. I really am doing it. I'm doing it. But my thing is, like I said when I was doing the video, I usually start in the middle of December and end in the middle of January. It takes me a time because I want to make sure everything is in place. But there are some things on here that I'll have in. I'll tell you what. I'll show it on one of our future episodes.
The next episode.
We're gonna
show it in the next one.
Hey, what about this? I think it would be a good idea even for you guys who are listening in. Yes. That if you are doing your vision board within the next couple of weeks, even if it's the beginning of February, how about on this particular episode, drop a picture of your vision board in the comments.
Nice.
Yeah,
yes.
We would love to see it. We would love to see what you guys are doing. Honestly, like I said, I'm going to the cabin this weekend. Woo-hoo, I can't wait. All right, but
enjoy, girl.
When I'm finished, I know that God's going to deposit some things. I'll post mine in there as well. So I'm going to post a picture of my final product, because that ain't everything that God has for 2021. Right. So, or for
Yes.
beyond that. So yeah. So drop y'all picks. We want to see y'all vision boards.
I'm gonna drop my pick. I'm gonna drop it right. I'm gonna drop it probably not right now, but I'm sure about to drop it. But yes, I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Hold on, because this is a party, and we did need to kind of quiet it down just a little bit so y'all can hear us talk. But April, cue that music, because baby, we got a little bit more music to play in the background as we wrap up this party. Woo! Yes, we are gonna hold you all Sunday night. Hey. Turn it up a little louder. Hey, this is a wake up reminder.
Come on.
Y'all live.
Live.
Look,
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Y'all can do
You
it.
gotta show them off. Woo, 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 woo. Yes. So we're gonna close this show off the way we close off all of our other shows, even though this is a party. And we're gonna leave you guys with a piece of, some tips and some tricks and some things to help shift your situation when it comes to whether or not you need to make a vision board. Okay. All right. So we're going to just go ahead and kick it off with the first takeaway, and that is going to be done by our girl A.T. Lee. Okay.
All right. So we talked about a lot of things in this show, but some things that, like she said, that we want to take away is first and foremost is that your vision board can be as varied as it needs to be. It does not have to be the traditional poster board with the pictures cut out from magazines. It could also be something that's virtual and like you can actually have with you, like Dante said, there's an app. Please, like if you need to rewind it. Dante, what's the name of that app again?
It's called Vision Board.
Vision board app. All right. So you can do a vision board app. You can be like myself I have a combination of a cork board and the dry erase, so I can always go and modify it. You can have a cork board, vision board like Dominique, or you can just do regular old degular. Look, now I know, like Jackson.
Really?
That
and a passion planet. And a passion planet.
Tried and true. Tried
It
and true. All right. The other thing is making sure that you're placing your vision board in a place where you can be able to actually see it and visualize it. It's not a good idea to just have a vision board, but then you never look at it. And so Jackson has his in the office, having it in a bedroom or on a refrigerator, or like myself, I keep mine in the laundry room, or it can even be in a closet. Or on your phone. So those are some of the things that you can do to make sure that vision board is helping you move forward in your goals.
Right. So the next thing you guys should do is plan a vision board party. In the past, I've always gotten together with people, and we've had magazines and glue and so on and so forth. But I know we're living in the new world, so you can actually do those virtually as well, like on Zoom, or like we're doing right now. You can go ahead and just get together with some of your friends and make that happen virtually. But by all means, please do it, because we want your visions to be true to you.
Absolutely.
I guess that's my turn. Okay. The next thing that we want you to do and remember is to get in the game. Get in the game. No longer shall we sit beside the sidelines and watch everybody else. April said in the beginning that successful people create vision boards.
Love it.
Period. Successful people write the vision and make it plain. So stop sitting on the sidelines and watch your life pass you by. It's time to take control. Write the vision, put it on a vision board, put it in your cell phone, put it on the back of your hand in a tattoo if that's your business. But we ask you to please get in the game. Okay. The next one is to remember that if you plan to succeed, you'll succeed. But if you don't plan, you plan to fail. Benjamin Franklin says it this way: if you plan to fail, you ultimately planning to fail. If you fail to plan, you're ultimately planning to fail.
Right.
And we'll stick a pin in that for you guys to meditate on throughout the week. Okay. Just like April mentioned earlier in the show, Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain. It is something said scientifically and spiritually. when you put paper to or pen to paper, or you make it visual and you see it, the things you see start being the things you speak. And we all know life and death is in the power of your tongue. So I just want to leave that with you guys on that piece.
So the next one is do it afraid. If God is placing big visions, big dreams in your heart, then trust him to help you complete it. If he said it, then that settles it.
That's
He
it.
says, when we are weak, he is strong. His strength is always made perfect in our weakness. So in this season, as you start off this new year, make sure you make a concerted effort to trust him and let him do his thing. God is still God at the end of the day.
Amen.
Right.
Absolutely.
The next thing that we need to do is not be weary in well doing. So please don't be, please, I pray that you are not one of those people that at the new year, oh my God, I'm going to get out and I'm going to work out, and then by the middle of February, you don't even see the gym anymore. You cannot get weary in well doing. You have to push toward those goals. Don't let the goals be something like your resolution to go work out. It can't fall off. It can't be something that you just stop doing just because it gets hard. You've got to push on if you want your visions to come true.
Amen.
So
Agree.
not get weary in well doing.
I agree.
And the last one is, again, to just keep the faith. God is a God of favor. He's a God of grace. He's a God of mercy. And so if you stumble and fall this year, get back up, trust and believe that he's already prepared the way for you.
Amen.
But it's your faith that you have to put into activation. So keep the faith.
Keep the faith. Absolutely. So listen, we love you guys. We thank you guys again. We can't say any more thank yous. I think maybe thank is another word that we probably should research to replace thank you. But we are honored,
grateful for you.
grateful, right? Just the fact that you guys have been rocking with us for over the last year. Thank you for the shares, the likes. Thank you, for all of the encouraging words that we have received throughout the year from you guys. And we do ask that you continue to like, share, and subscribe. Send it to people, anyone. If you think it's somebody who would benefit from this particular episode, send it to them.
Please
send it to them. Slide it into their DM. Okay, we want to get the word out. We shall no longer, live in the shadows. We're going to write the vision, make it plain. We love you guys. And until next time, have a good night. Or
don't forget to share your vision board.
Don't forget to drop your vision boards. Bye, everybody.
Bye.